So now you're looking to make this film. Has it all been shot, or no? You just
No,
had
no,
the
no, no.
teaser?
We just shot the teaser.
Okay.
You know, we shot the teaser. I was able to get, you know, Kevin Corrigan to come out from New York to do the teaser, and Lucy Davis, who's also in the movie. Originally, when I wrote the teaser, she was actually going to appear in the scene with the final. So she was kind of sort of pop out of the corner and do this final sort of, you know, jab at the trophy hunter. But she's been shooting the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina in Vancouver for like 6 months, and she can't get away. So I contrived this whole idea of this FaceTime thing. So she shot. So I directed her over the phone, and she actually shot that piece up in Vancouver, and then, you know, I shot a plate, and that's how we put her into the picture. But yeah, we just shot this as really a sample to say this is the kind of movie we're making. This is not just an abstraction. These are the actors. This is the look. This is the tone, and now we're just going to, you know, hopefully raise the money so we can make the whole thing.
Why not make a documentary? I'm just going to play the devil's advocate here.
Question,
so, if you and I know the word message is not like a good, but if for those of us who feel strongly about animals, and I am one of those people, and I know trophy hunting has gotten a lot of dark light on it, rightfully so, without going too much into it.
Yeah.
But why not make a documentary?
That's a good question. I mean, I think that if I was a documentary filmmaker, I'd make a documentary on animal compassion or how animals are systematically brutalized in factory farming and so forth. I would make that documentary. But I think those documentaries, thankfully, exist, and more of them are being made. And up till now, that has been the way to reach people about animal rights. I think a really good documentary that illustrates life on a factory farm or animal testing, any of those things, or fur farms, or anything where animals are routinely abused, a documentary that shows you what's going on is a real eye-opener and absolutely necessary. But I'm a narrative filmmaker, and in many ways, I'm so ridiculously sensitive to what goes on with animals in those situations that I can't even watch those images. I mean, I know what they are. I saw that material, which is in many ways what made me become a vegetarian and ultimately a vegan. I saw what was going on, but I can't watch that again, and I can't watch it certainly as an entertainment. So for me, making a narrative, in this case a crime thriller, that has a lot of animal rights themes baked into it, was the best way for me to communicate my feelings on the subject as opposed to a documentary, because I am a filmmaker, a narrative filmmaker. I love genre. I love crime thrillers and thrillers. I love atmosphere. And I want to make the movie that I would want to see, that would get this point across without driving me from the theater crying, although I do think that stuff is necessary. So we talked earlier about, like, how do you put this, not that Legally Blonde is the comparison, but you brought it up, which is that how do you get this message across in a way that's, I wouldn't say it's safe, but it's definitely more watchable than, you know, going into an abattoir, you know, with a video camera. So I think that's the best way for me to get my point across, is in this format.
You know, it's interesting that even though you've dedicated your life and your lifestyle to compassion for animals, not being able to watch certain things, and I'm the same way. I saw something interesting out in the public space, and I won't even say where it is because I don't want these people to get in trouble. I want them to just keep doing it. But they were holding these screens.
Oh, the video monitors.
Yes, and they were showing.
No, they're amazing.
Usually... So we know we're talking about the same people.
Oh no,
And and people, I could tell were scared, and I was scared to see it, but I was like fascinated by what they were doing.
No, that movement is incredible. Basically, you know, it's a real hardcore way, but again, a necessary way of saying, okay, look, you know, this is your meat. You know, meet your meat, as the expression used to go. It's like, check it out. This is what happens.
Yeah.
And you know, these people gather in huge public places, and they have these screens. And oftentimes they're, you know, wearing anonymous masks.
Right.
And you see people for the first time seeing what the truth of this stuff is, and they are rightfully, you know, justifiably destroyed, and hopefully cannot unsee that. You know, I mean, the expression, if, if slaughterhouses were made a class, we'd all be vegetarian, is a true statement. There's a reason why that world is socked away outside of the public eye, and why meat and eggs and all that stuff remains just a product, safely packaged without any of the pain that is the origin of that stuff. Because if you saw it, you'd be like, shit, I'm not going to eat that. So those people are really, that's the real work, where you're like, okay, this is the truth. You want to, and I think they're changing a lot of people's minds, bit by bit.
Well, not only that, but isn't it a terrorist offense or considered an act of terrorism to film within one of those places?
I'm not, that's a good question. I just know that the people who actually liberate animals, people that are part of Animal Liberation Front, or an unoffensive animal, organizations that basically take direct action and go into a fur farm or a factory farm and either damage the property, but more importantly, rescue the animals that are either going to be experimented on or killed, they are definitely branded as terrorists, even though they never hurt people. It's a business thing. It's amazing to see how that kind of money is able to, it's the history of the world, influence, policy so that these people, do serious jail time. And, they haven't hurt anybody. If anything, they've wrecked they've destruction of public property or private property, and they've saved animals, but they'll do hard time for that, That's crazy.